I'm about to feed them to the sharks right now. Get them hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it go. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.
Welcome to episode 121 of the BJJ Campaign podcast. My name is Jeff Boone. I'm an A3, purple belt, 3 stripes.
Phil Coors, A2, purple belt, 3 stripes.
It's a pretty easy intro now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you still a white belt when we started this thing?
Yes. White belt, 3 stripes.
You're a white belt, 3 stripes?
Sure.
That's wild. That's wild. What a wild road.
And so I've learned something since then.
You have? What?
No.
Not much.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
Wild road. Gordon, lots to talk about with Gordon Ryan.
I think just too many steroids too fast and it's just like not sitting right.
No, I don't think so. Dude, I don't understand. Like,
An internet commentator said it, so like I never know, but it makes sense to me. Or could. Does it mess with your immune system or does it strengthen your immune system?
steroids? Steroids won't do anything to your immune system.
I have a hard time believing that. Really?
Yeah. So, well, let's think about this. I'd love to get Derek on more plates, more dates on this, but he has addressed this in some of his posts but I can't remember exactly what he said. It's a net neutral where some things are better and some things are worse, but a net neutral on your immune system. I don't buy that at all. I think 100% of all of his shit is from taking too many freaking antibiotics.
Yeah.
Antibiotics are way worse for you than steroids are.
Sure. I assumed it had some sort of combination, just didn't say right or something. But it sucks.
He was on 40 days straight.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dude, and his stomach was already a wreck.
Yeah.
That just wrecks your system.
What started it again? I don't remember.
He had strep throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that all culminated in that he had to have his tonsils out, and while he had his tonsils out, he had a nose job, right, for deviated septum. So
It's funny when you call it a nose job.
Well, that's what it is. They root your turbinates out in your nose. I mean, the side effect is your nose looks beautiful, but his nose was already
It's handsome.
a beautiful nose.
Yeah. He does look like 90 years old with the white hair.
I love that about him. Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu Santa Claus, I've heard.
That tweet or whatever where they're like, Jiu-Jitsu's great for you. Look at this guy. He's only 27 years old and looks 90.
So him in the hospital bed.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. It sucks, man, because he was going to have another match soon.
Well, Felipe Pena, right? Now.
I'm curious if he loses steps.
Because
you
have to.
The system, just not being able to keep up.
You have to.
The shape and the pace.
100%. Yes. This is possibly the beginning of the end for Gordon Ryan as far as being on his winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Marigali's making steps, right? Marigali's is calling out Pena and Nagi. Craig Jones is going to fight Pena no gi.
He never wins, though.
It's true. That's true. I think he beat Pena. He beat Pena before.
Has he? I'm sure he has. He's super good.
I think he has.
And he has the best instructionals. Just get up. Just stand up.
That's great.
So funny.
He is funny.
Yeah, Marigali seems like probably the biggest threat just from an all-around thing. I mean, that guy just seems to win.
Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah.
You know, he got really good at no-gi really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Bodoni, he's not far behind Giancarlo.
I thought he was small, though.
No,
I thought he was like 180. No.
He was 199. He fought 199 at ADCC, and believe me, so whenever I was in Austin, his brother was in the Cash Thursday night jiu-jitsu. It was a Cash tournament for like blue belts 170. What? I think it was 170. 65, 170, somewhere around there. But he was coaching his brother there, and he's a big freaking dude. Like I looked at him, I was like, that he's probably bigger than, like, he's probably 230 walking around, really? 225, 230, you know?
Yeah.
And 6'3", 6'4". I mean, he's right there, and he's really good too. So I don't know. That I just don't see, man, I just don't see how he gets out of that whole antibiotic hole with his gut microbiome, because it just destroys it, and it was already destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. What do they do? What happens if you don't take antibiotics?
I don't know. I mean, strep, I don't know. I don't think strep will kill you. But I mean, look, there's natural, people are going to be like, oh, Jeff's crazy. There's natural antibiotic properties in like oregano oil. Mm-hmm. Right? So you can do the same thing with or similar, treating bacterial diseases with oregano oil, other oils as well. But that doesn't make the pharmaceutical companies any money. So why would they do that? I'm personally, I'm shocked that he hasn't figured that shit out yet. Like the other stuff. B17 stuff that's natural, that won't fuck your gut biome up.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no like, you just have to like do what? Probiotics and
have to do probiotics. He's doing that like, ways to well, like full body stem cell stuff but I don't know how that regenerates your gut microbiome. I have no idea.
Sucks.
Yeah. Might be another, like that South Park episode. Did you ever see that? The fecal transplant episode?
No.
Oh, God. That's terrible. I mean, kind of make everything an analogy to South Park, and that's what it is, where she was feeling sick, like her gut was bad, and so they did a fecal transplant. It was, the end of it was everyone wanted Tom Brady's shit to do a fecal transplant, and they finally got it.
There you go.
So
yeah,
go watch the episode.
That's funny. They're always funny. Yeah, that sucks. That's such a lame way to go out.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. Like, sucks.
Yeah.
I would have rather someone just was better than him.
No, I know.
But I don't know. Maybe he's good enough that he comes back in a year or whatever. And
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm just saying that this is a major opportunity for the competition to step it up. Mm-hmm. You know,
he said he hasn't been training much at all. I don't think.
I'm sure he's not training at all.
Get people sick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not training at all.
So
40 days of that, you know. And don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, everybody says that, you know, he's by far the best in the room whenever they're there. But again, that's 40 days. He's had 40 days of this where he's not basically been able to train. A couple months before where he's been on light duty. I mean, I don't know. How much of an edge can you keep whenever you're not sharpening it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like you just wonder, like what I'm wondering is like the ability to get back to where he was. You know, like probably can't.
I would never say he can't, because I think that someone who's achieved what he has achieved has a mind that we'll never know, as far as the strength and the fortitude and the perseverance. I truly believe that championship mindset is something that only a very few have, and he has it. And I do believe that he can, if these issues resolve, and if he can eat enough to keep weight on, then I think that he will, get back to what he was, and probably even better.
What if he just comes back only in the gi? So he can never lose no gi.
That would
he's just like one of the best in the gi. He's like, hey, whatever.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like Marigali's hat, make gi great again. Yeah.
Yeah. That way he doesn't never tarnishes the no gi record.
Yeah.
But he gets to go out and compete. But yeah. And everybody's like, well,
that would be so great, because the Brazilians that were calling him out to be in the gi would be so pissed off, because then they would be calling him out to go no gi. He would have a field day with that.
I'm tired. Sorry.
That's a great strategy, Phil.
Yeah. That would be really funny.
You should be his publicist.
Really good at irritating people.
Just a major troll.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah. I hope he makes it back, though.
Me too.
We'll see.
Me too. Give a shout out to...
So needless to say, Jeff was in Austin and did not train with Gordon Ryan because he was ducking Jeff again.
Obviously.
So
that's what happens.
Yeah.
When the greats go somewhere. Shout out to Nick Walters Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He and his team welcomed me in this past week when I was down on the coast working there in New Bern, North Carolina. It was really fun. Did some lasso stuff. You got the benefit of that lasso sweep today whenever you helped me drill it. Good crew. Terry is a black belt that I work with. He was fun. Jim and Hugh, everyone really fun to roll with. I will say this, it was hot as hell in that gym, man. Mm-hmm. He does not believe in air conditioning, and I was soaking wet after. It was fun though. Great class, great rolls after. Really enjoyed that. When I'm back down there, I'll certainly get back there again. So big shout out to him.
That's good. Does Danaher call it lasso or lasso?
I want to say lasso, but being no-gi, we don't really get into lasso grips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I heard him say lasso once, and I thought it was really funny. But I've never been able to find the clip, so I can't prove it. I might have made it up. In instruction, he says like a false lasso grip. So he didn't say lasso whenever. Yeah. I kind of hate that.
I get it. I hate to burst your bubble on that.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just fucking with somebody the one time you heard him say that.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be. It's kind of disappointing. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was where you picked up the lasso thing. It was from last week. I thought it was down there.
No.
What did Marigali go over?
Marigali was like pressure back takes.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
That's his thing?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Make them tired before you take their back.
That makes sense.
And obviously now triangles. Did you see that Pedro Mourinho match?
I did. I think I did. I saw the triangle on his gi. I feel like I watched it. What happened? I feel like I watched it.
Basically Marigali dominated and then ended up exactly where I wanted to in a mounted triangle.
Mounted triangle. Okay.
And choked him out. Mount.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Mourinho was never in the match.
Yeah. That guy's pretty good though, right? Pretty highly rated.
Well, he's
Mourinho?
no gi champion and like 3-time gi champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not shabby.
Recent ADCC though, right? He did really well, I think.
Mourinho?
Did he win like absolute or something?
No, that was Yuri Samos.
Okay.
No, Mourinho got beat by who did Mourinho get beat by in ADCC? I don't remember. I can't remember who he got beat by.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that though, and I saw something else. What else happened in that WNO that was good? Oh,
Isaac Michel beat beat the Hillbilly Hammer pretty handily too. Just dominated. And then Lovato beat Elder Cruz.
Yeah, so Lovato had a really nice transition to the back.
Yes.
Where he like put the hook in the transition and like did the runic choke like all very seamlessly. That was really cool.
It was this exact same thing that John shows.
Yeah, but like he did it there against that guy.
No, I know.
It's just really cool.
But exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. It's just really cool to see it like
Yeah, that
at
works.
the high level.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's really good. Bless you.
Dying.
Um,
I'm back.
Yeah, no, it was a great match. It was a really good match. Lovato he's not quitting.
He's like 40 now, right?
Yeah, I think at least.
Yeah.
He's at least 40.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. You know what cracks me up about Lovato? I'm just going to say it. He colors his hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. Why would you color your hair?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I got a bunch of gray up here in the corner.
Yeah, no. You're not coloring it?
Yeah.
Why not just be distinguished gray gentlemen?
I don't know.
Instead,
Maybe,
jet black. Still love the guy. Just let the hair go.
I had no idea.
I mean, he does have a great head of hair. Maybe if I had hair, I would feel differently about it, because I would certainly be gray if I had it.
You think? Do you color your beard?
No. People think I color my beard, but no.
Yeah, because you don't have much gray. Maybe maybe like right here, like
Yeah, a
it's
little
kinda
bit of gray in the
light,
beard.
but yeah. Why do you think it would be gray then?
Because like all
stubble?
this beard is gray.
That's right. I
Right
remember
here.
that when you
Yeah,
had that
all
now.
this beard is gray, so that
Yeah.
means all the probably.
Yeah, I remember when you had the monster beard going on for a while there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gray. Yep.
Ever gonna do it again?
Yeah, probably. Some point.
When you retire?
Want to give up on life?
Stuck on an island, yeah. No, that's yeah, his back take though, that was a fun one to watch. I enjoyed that. That was cool.
I'm trying to think of who else was.
I only saw clips. I did not watch the event live. I only saw the cool stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch it live either. Actually, I watched the Marigali match live because that's when I turned it on. But yeah, good man. WNO's. I mean, look at it. They had a great audience for gi jiu-jitsu. It just says gi jiu-jitsu can be interesting, you know, but it can't. I guess there's officials, there's judges. I do like that where when on WNO at every, I don't remember what the interval is, but they put the judge's decision up there while they're going, so they know who's winning or losing. So it's not like that. It's not like that bullshit advantage stuff that they do with IBJJF. I think that's probably the most interesting, other than submission only. But I don't know that you could do submission only with gi in that format.
I don't know. Not with people who are that good.
I mean, Marigali can.
He seems to be the one doing it.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's new with you, Phil? What are you working on? What are you having fun with now, other than your super early Tuesday, Thursday?
It's 7:30. It's not that early.
That's super early, dude.
It's not that early. What time did you train with
7:30.
Marigali in the morning?
It was 6:30, but that's 7:30 our time.
So it's been done.
And it's Marigali. It's not you. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm not teaching anything either.
I know.
Yeah, we've just been having fun. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of positional stuff, which has been fun. Because I've been working on the scissor sweep the other way, trying to work in the butterfly sweep the other way, just so they're just more natural.
Yeah.
And a lot of the trying to be more going back to the open guard seated and being more like assertive and aggressive, like trying to look for the opportunities to stand up and get on top instead of if I don't get the quick sweeps, falling back into on my back, because I still always feel like I'm losing there, you know. Like
Whenever you're seated.
when I'm on my back, like when I lay back.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
I don't get like the quick, like trips, dummy sweeps, push over, like, or enter into like a single leg X or an X guard, which is not super common for me. I tend to kind of fall back lazily, and I'm trying to kind of force myself there to just be more assertive into kind of doing something I want to do instead. And have come up on a couple single legs more often recently. So that's kind of where I'm trying to, that's where I'm kind of trying to be more focused. Is just,
you know what was really cool? So down there when Denner was doing the sitting guard, he was doing some grips and all that stuff, grips, underhooks from grips, and the one thing that he pointed out that was so, like, you know, whenever you're like, it's that one missing piece of the puzzle that it's going to make that position much better for you. This was it. And it was very simple, right? Was if they're not attacking, to just push, right? Just put, and literally I've been doing that. People just fall over if they're not attacking.
yeah.
It's like, whoa, so simple, but like I wasn't doing it at all. I'm doing it now all the time. And it helps too on whenever you push, it helps too on the arm drags or the collar drags.
On the pushing, I like a lot of times, like when they're kind of sitting back, but when they'll post one foot up, and I like that, like pull the heel.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Push the knee, pull the heel.
Shoulder.
I'm pushing the knee. Yeah. It's the same as that under hook whenever it's the technical mount.
Yeah. I like that one when they sit back.
Agreed. No, that's cool. I like that. I think that's a great new format. Or well, not new format, but just
I
a great.
invented it.
Huh?
I invented
the format. No, but a great format and a good chance for people to get this time in, you know, to drill and really get to roll on the mat.
Yeah, it's been really good because like I've been trying to find more times to get like not necessarily like hard training in, but like breaking a sweat, and I only have X amount of time in between the other stuff I have to do. So like this format's been really good, especially because we're getting the same crowd for the most part, so that everybody's kind of like getting on board, coming prepared a little bit with something to drill for a few minutes, and then just like kind of hitting the positions. And
you guys are doing 10 minutes of drill, then
5 minutes of drilling to warm up, and then 8 minutes in 4 positions.
Great. That's great.
So
that's really good.
So it's been fun, and like I can break a decent sweat, but then I'm also still not like worn out. Like today it was 2 hours at open mat. I'm tired, but like for 45 minutes, it's like pretty perfect amount of like exercise, and I can go and feel better at work.
Pump iron
before, yeah.
Huh?
We go to the gym from 6:30 to 7:15, and then I go around the corner and open up. I'm warm when I get there.
You are getting after it, Phil.
It's only twice a week.
Wow.
And then Friday nights and Saturday mornings.
That's good.
Yeah, I tried the Monday night, and then like I just didn't get a good night's sleep, and then so I made Tuesday morning happen, and then Tuesday morning at like 10 in the morning, I was like, I'm done for today. We'll pack it in. Try again tomorrow. It's just so hard to the way that it just ends at 9 o'clock. I mean, if it ended, it's just hard.
No, I get it. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not getting to sleep if I'm training till 9. Not getting to sleep till 1:30 at least.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. The brain doesn't shut down.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like walking around amped up or whatever. But by the time I get home, laundry, eat something, do whatever, sit down, I look over. I'm like, it's 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
need to be asleep an hour ago.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So it's just hard. So this has worked out. This has been the most of a routine I've had now for like a year and a half, which is fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. 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 It seems like you're having a lot of fun training too.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
And we got a good no-gi class going. So that's fun for me.
No, I got to make
Saturdays
that more.
I've been doing the fundamentals class.
Yeah. I got to make those Fridays classes more. I just like that noon open mat so much.
And it actually like, I would like the noon time better for like hard training Saturday morning. Because when I train Friday night, I don't really feel
It's hard.
super up to like sparring hard Saturday morning.
That's the other thing. Like I'm always 10 a.m. at headquarters on Saturday morning, and it's like if you go at night, you're not going to feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to feel. I don't know.
It's tough.
You know, anytime. That is rough. No, I've kind of settled into that new schedule. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, regular Saturday. It's been good. It's been a lot of fun. I like it when John changes it up. I think it's important because it's always better. You know, it's always like, all right, he's changing it up for what we need. So, yeah, it's always fun.
Yep. So, what was your big takeaway this time from Texas? Like, what did you learn? Last time when you came back, you felt a lot tighter with a lot of different positions and stuff you had been working on, like the triangle and stuff. Did you have any of those this time, you feel like?
I felt like my leg locks are getting a lot better as far as positionally. Technically, positionally, I think my leg locks are getting a lot better.
What do you mean positionally?
So recognizing the position, like recognizing where I can get into, you know, what backside 50 or like cross ashi, the entries into them I can see them better. You know what I mean? And then on the it's so funny because it is every single thing, like entries, everything on every position, whether it's a choke or whatever your offense is, but the entry on everything. And like, because whereas before, you know, cross ashi, whenever you have it's called double trouble, both feet, right, entangled. I would not get both feet all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't trained enough yet in that to where I was going to reach for that second leg. And now in every part of that, I'm always reaching for that second leg because Danaher explained how important that second leg was for the primary and secondary attack aspect, or the dilemma, as he called it, you know, the dilemma that you create with both legs. It's too hard to overcome in most cases. So I think that with just the entry into the heel hooks, getting better at the catch, you know, rotating the knee and making sure that the toes are in the armpit instead of through the armpit, just being really tighter on those finishing positions. Yeah, I think that, and just rolling no-gi that much because I just don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's super, it's really different, and a lot of fun and similar too, but it was, you know, it's definitely,
I seem to prefer it. Like,
yeah,
I don't lose a lot of what I do when you strip all their grips away.
Yeah.
And I feel like people lose a lot of, like, I don't want to say stalling grips, but like when they don't have a fabric to get a good, like, scrunched up grip on something to kind of prevent me from moving forward. I feel like I feel like I have a higher success rate no-gi. Like it's more straight to the point for me. Of like, because I'm always just at arms, head and arms, wrist, Americana, straight arm lock, head and arm, like just back and forth. And if they turn, take the back, and like having a gi there does nothing to affect any of like my primary.
Yeah, I think you're right, man.
So like for me, it kind of simplifies everything because like I can only do this thing, and so I really enjoy it. I totally
agree with everything you just said. And I think that, you know, why I like gi too is that I can slow down the pace. Whereas in no gi, it's not. There's none of that.
Yeah. It's harder. Yeah. It's harder to, kind of like leisurely move.
Yeah, for sure it is. It's a different sport, but very similar.
Mhm.
And a lot of overlapping principles too. So yeah, no, that was it. Not other than that push. I mean, that was it's pretty big revelation, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And it does work in the gi too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
but yeah, just being on the mat that many. Whenever you're on the mat twice a day or 3 times a day, you just get. I mean, there's no other way to do it but get sharper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, that's cool.
Yeah. And while I was down there, I popped my knee a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah. So actually, that's just now back to. I'm back to baseline. There's no issue with it. I was taking it kind of easy for the last few weeks with that.
Okay.
Which is weird because it wasn't even it was not a strained position. I just straightened my leg and my knee popped and it was weird.
Yeah.
Just old. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm glad that's better. I haven't had to deal with too much on the injury side of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Other than I face planted with Joey one day. My neck was sore for a little bit, but it's kind of my fault. So
Uh-huh.
I almost had him though. Almost. Maybe not that close though.
So how do you think that the schedule for training is going to change whenever little Theodore arrives in August?
I'm hoping not a lot, because what I really like about Tuesday, Thursday is it doesn't affect her at all.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's the time I go and I lift weights and then I go to work. I kind of happen to like squeeze in a training time in between all that.
No, that is
without
good.
Like
Efficient.
really affecting anyone else.
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna go to work on those days anyway. So
Yeah.
Friday nights seem to be okay, and I get home. I tend to talk sometimes, so I get home at 9. But like I'm kind of like on the downswing because like the open mat kind of ends like 8:15, 8:30. So that's a lot nicer for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't know what you don't know with that, because I just may not feel like getting up at 6:30 for anything.
Uh-huh.
But like theoretically, I'm hoping this is just like the routine, and it might be like a rocky 6 months again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really see a reason this can't be
Sure.
like what I do. That's what I really like about that 45-minute time thing. And like, I would like to get more learning in. So maybe I adjusted at some point to like be more drilling focused, but I think the crowd that's in there right now, like, is enjoying the positional stuff right now. And so am I. And like, I don't necessarily want to be teaching, but I could just make it more drilling focused. I kind of try to do that on my own. Like I'm kind of trying to do some things from each position. So kind of just is what it is. But hopefully this can just be the schedule that I have.
Mm-hmm. I always like that whenever I went to Walter's BJJ there in New Bern. They open up with, I believe it's 8 minutes each of drilling. So 16 minutes. And then like 30 minutes of instruction. And then like 30 minutes of rolling. Mm-hmm. It was really nice.
And that's kind of how the Friday has been.
Yeah.
I really like it. So he's done like a review period warm up for like 10 minutes, or like I said, like flowing from the feet, basically like working on entries for takedowns and stuff. So whether that's flow rolling or just regular warm ups or whatever. And then like 30, 35 minutes of instruction, and then like sparring from that instruction, and then kind of just opening up. Cause like I really only need 30 or 40 minutes and I'm good, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy. Like that is, for me, exactly what I want. So I love the Friday class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. I mean, you're selling it hard, Phil. I got it.
Huh? No, this isn't about you. But
I know what you're doing here.
For me, it's my favorite, like, perfect, like, structure. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like I get the most out of it because I can actually focus on what I like that it's not like one straight hour of instruction.
Yes.
And then I get to fail at it instantly at the end of class to like try to think about it. And then I like that I just get like, I'm basically referring to it as exercise at this point because I'm not competing, but just like spar for like breaking a sweat and getting exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? So like that's kind of like what I'm looking for right now because I'm not competing and I don't necessarily like care about improving at a super rapid pace. I kind of care more about like having a really good time every time I go.
Yeah.
And that's been happening. So I like that.
Well, yeah. And I think whenever you have a good time when you're going, you are improving.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
Anytime that you really, really enjoy something, that's for sure you're going to be more invested in it from a mindset standpoint anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I don't know. What'd you think of?
Let's see. Where's Chris Plemons been? I haven't seen him forever.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Did he quit jiu-jitsu?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I did see him at one class not too long ago.
Huh?
But I don't know when I just don't see people because now that I don't go at night all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's when most people go. And I go like Friday night, which is smaller classes. Have I mentioned I like the format? It's smaller classes though. So it's just like I expect to not see too many people.
Yeah.
And then I went to a couple competitions on a couple Saturdays. And then I went to a Saturday and it was that UFC thing. So like everyone was gone on that day. So there's like 4 people there that Saturday.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to a busy Saturday in a little while. And this week I was tired. I slept till like 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't get out of bed.
That's
I got up, let the birds out, and I was like, good night, and I went back to bed. So this Saturday I was really tired.
Cool. All right, well, let's wrap it up, Philly.
All right.
If you're not out there doing something to make yourself better each and every day, get out there and do it. Phil and I choose jiu-jitsu. We hope you do too.
I'm about to feed him to the sharks right now. Get him hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it go. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.